What's up, everybody? Welcome, 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 welcome. You know what I realized? I realized that we live in a world where there's always something to talk about. So, welcome to Realville. We'll talk about it right here. What's going on with everybody? I was gonna do a video, a short video, but then I said, well, this might be a topic where I can kind of come in and more than have a just put a video out, kind of like just have an open dialogue. And that's what I kind of wanted to do on this one. Um, I've been thinking over the last year or so, just wondering when you're seeing, even since Katrina, watching FEMA, watching the FBI through the whole political process, the CIA, watching how they've run the show, and it made me realize that we really have little to no control, quote unquote, over who gets in these offices. Now I know you say, well, we vote in the senators, we vote in the representatives, and in turn they actually vote on those positions. But wouldn't you like to have just a little bit more control over the people that's in these positions? And I picked these four specifically. FDA, just think about all we've been hearing about. Oh, this and this, FDA, this, CIA, FBI, and FEMA. These particular, what's going on, Zoe? What's going on, Brian? These particular four groups of organizations, seemingly to me, they're running the country. They're running the country more than the people that we're putting in office. Because what I'm looking at, when I look at these House chambers and I look at these debates on the House floors and in the Senates, it's always looking like one side has no control, the other side has all the control. But then who has more control than everybody? Is these people that nobody's electing. And that's something that I just can't seem, I can't seem to understand why is there not a outcry over that in particular. Like, who is Dr. Such and such and who voted for him? Because in government, we can hire and fire our representatives, and that's what we do. We don't like somebody, I keep doing quote unquote because there's a side of people in Realville. I know what y'all we don't believe that people are elected. We believe people are selected. And then you got the other side of Realville. We believe that our vote counts. So I want to keep it on both sides, past whether or not if our vote counts or not. Just to wonder, why can we not fire this man? Why can we not fire this person? How can this person work through Bush administration, Clinton administration, another Bush administration, Obama administration, Biden administration? Like, how can we not fire these people? And that's what made me think about this. When you have these appointed positions where, oh, unanimous selection through Congress, that's all politics. So these people can actually get in these super powerful positions that are even more powerful than the senator's position. You look at the head of the CDC, their position right now in our lives is more powerful even than our governor's position, almost, because look, some governors are choosing to stand up. But a lot of your senators and representatives, you have somebody that's the head of the CDC that it seems if it wasn't for the judicial branch, they would be running the country. And I think the reason why we need to be able to elect these people is because we need to have some sort of feeling that we're getting the best person for the job, just not a person that's politically connected, even though most of them have, some kind of political connection or family connection. But the people need to seem like they have some sort of voice when these people come down with these crazy, and it's getting crazier. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. We haven't seen anything yet. It's getting crazier by the days, the things that they're trying to push through their branches of government. And it's always related to the disaster. So you look at a 9/11, so say, where you had where the FBI and the CIA is basically we're at their beck and call. Whatever they want to do, we got to believe everything they're saying. And they, Patriot Act, ram through everything that has to do with keeping us safe. And nobody voted them in to do that. And now you come to a hurricane or a disaster, and you have a organization like FEMA that they can come in, they can put you out of your house. They can deem your land unfit to live. They can do all of these things to the citizen. They can affect the citizen. And you wonder, like, I didn't vote for them, and you can't even fight them because you didn't vote for them. You can't fire them because you don't vote for them. So they can stay in year after year. And now you come down to where you have any kind of medical disaster like we're seeing today. And now we at the beck and call of the CDC and the FDA. They can do whatever they want, pass any laws, and they give us these recommendations, which shows you they're not supposed to have the power. So they put it under different terminology and they call it's a recommendation. We can't tell you what to do, but we recommend that you do this. And then when they get that recommendation, you get all these governors, all these senators, and all these businesses. We're following the recommendations. How do we follow recommendations more than we follow the Constitution? How do you follow recommendations more than you follow the law? And so we've seen this over and over and over. Everybody puts in their recommendations. It doesn't matter what organization, it seems that the government is following medical advice. The doctor, I'm not gonna say his name, the doctor, or you have even like, how do I say his name without being flagged? I'm gonna call him BG. That's what we're gonna call him from now. We're gonna call him BG. With BG, he's never ran for office, but he's been at the forefront for the last 2 years of everything that we're doing in government. We're following all of his recommendations for the last 2 years. We've been following BG, and he has never, ever even tried to run for office that I know of, and actually won. What's going on, Ashley? So, and I wanted to look at this, and this is not a bashing on any particular person. I don't know any of these people, so I'm gonna show you this first person here. Let me see if I can put her in. She's head of the CDC, right? She just got the position, really. And I'm not saying she's a good person or a bad person. I'm just using some Wikipedia stuff. Just so I don't really use anybody else's website. She may be a good person. I mean, but I don't like, there's some things about her I don't like. One of them is this last part, expert on HIV and AIDS. She kind of looks like the doctor, like they've been knowing each other for a long time. So that to a voter, that looks suspicious. And if you look into this, I'm not going to look into it, but if you look into her research on these particular alphabets, you would actually see how closely related she is to the doctor. So how easy or how, what's a word? How beneficial is it for her to be the head of the CDC now with all the stuff that's going on with the doctor? Where they can just say, oh, well, the CDC says, oh, the head of the CDC says, and then we just got to take it like the gospel. And everybody in America has to get it rammed down our throats. Our children have to follow the CDC. We have to follow, and we have yet to recognize these are just people. Like somebody else will be in that position next month. They might go through 2 or 3 of these a year, head of the CDC. And so you see they're all working together, and you would say, well, why can't we have some say so instead of just, oh, she was confirmed, unanimously confirmed by the Senate, by the House and Congress. Why can't we vote on this? Somebody that's going to be the head of a political organization Why can't we vote on it? Why can't we vote on that? Crazy. The next one, the next person, Christopher Ray. I'm gonna stop this one. I'm gonna stop this one, and I'm gonna go to the next screen. And I'm just want to put some of this up in your head, just to make us think. Why don't we get a shot at this? Why don't we get a shot as far as when there's a presidential election? Let's give the CDC person 4 years. Let's give the head of the FBI person 4 years. Or let's do it on 2-year increments. Anything is better than what we're doing now with these people. This guy may be a good guy. Don't know anything about him, but what they tell you. But what I don't like about this, and I just like this show, what I don't like about this is sometimes you want new blood, right? A lot of times in politics, the people want new blood. We don't just want people that's been around forever. When I look at this and I see something about a person that's been involved for over 2 decades, how do you know that's who the people want? 2 decades, attorney general, assistant attorney general. Is any of these positions voted on? He's been in the government forever. But how many positions has he been in where somebody had to vote him, where the people had to vote him in? With all the power they have, with all the stuff, you look at the FBI and the CIA. Let me see if I got the. I don't even have the CIA up. I'm gonna leave the CIA alone. They could take me out in the middle of the night. But you look at like head of FBI, head of the CIA. These are people. If you remember 9/11, I always go back to 9/11. Supposedly, it was the FBI and the CIA that said there was weapons of mass destruction, and we just went into a couple decades long war on wrong intel that came from an organization that nobody gets the right to vote on. And all the people that we voted, the president, the guys at the CIA told me that, or the guys at the FBI told me that. Nobody voted on them. Nobody voted on these people. You take FEMA, for example. Let me go to FEMA. You take FEMA, for example. FEMA kind of came around. I was looking at the history of FEMA, but we'll talk about it. The way they came around. No, I think this is the FDA. Let me see who this. Okay, this is the FDA. Janet Woodcock may be a good lady. But once again, we didn't get a chance to vote on her. You look, she has a long history of doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. She's been in the FDA for a long time. Joined the FDA in 1986. That's almost as long as I've been born. So that's over 35 years. That's amazing. Sorry about that. Nick Harris says correct. Nobody voted for these idiots. Brian says, I like your idea about voting for them, but we can't get people to do a regular vote, people don't pay attention to a presidential election. I know. I don't understand it. I don't understand it either. It's, to me, it's hard, but it's like, what do we do? Nick Harris says pausing food definitely at McDonald's. McDonald's FDA approved. Yeah, and that's one thing. My dad used to always tell me, say, son, what happened to consumer protection? Which means that used to have the FDA. We looked up to the FDA before the money got involved and the politics got involved. You look to the FDA to really go out there and actually stop these these companies that were not up to par, so to speak. But they do a good job. They do a good job stopping the salmonellas and the E. coli outbreaks. But many times, if you remember, or if you watch the news, or if you know anything about the process, many times it's not the FDA that's catching the E. coli outbreaks, or it's always the companies themselves that self-report their self. If those companies wouldn't self-report, and they only self-report after, if you look at barcodes, the companies know where their product is going. This is something you got to understand. So if they send out a certain barcode of product, they know that's going to Georgia. This whole lot here, this lot is going to Tennessee. This lot is going to Colorado. And they suspect that it's tainted with E. coli or whatever. And instead of reporting right then and there, they sit back and say, well, maybe nobody might not notice. It's not until 4 or 5 people drop dead in that county where they know their product went to, or 4 or 5 people go to the hospital for food poisoning, that they up and, oh, we better report it. We better get ahead of it. They report it to the FDA, and then the FDA comes and they just kind of like do a little cleanup from the back. Oh, we found this, and they do their little reporting, and they tell you, if you've had this product from such and such time, throw it out. That's all they do. Zoe Sunshine says it. They report after consumers get sick, even though they're supposed to have a process of testing, an ongoing process of testing. But that's the way they do it. So that's Janet Woodcock. I want to get out here, and I'm not going to be long at all because I just wanted to kind of bring this stuff up, just have a little conversation, and then I'll look through the comments real quick where she's at. All right. And here's another lady. I'm not against women being in, but we got a lot of women up in these positions, right? Not against that at all. I just don't know them. Nobody even, they never had a chance to, hey, I want to be the head of FEMA. Like, FEMA is a big deal. If we're talking about climate change and we're talking about global warming and we're seeing these tornadoes like we just saw throughout, Indiana and all that, we're seeing all these tornadoes coming up right here in Louisiana, crazy hurricanes back to back to back, wildfires out in California, all kind of crazy stuff on the East Coast, snowstorms that's kicking up. All of these disasters are managed by FEMA. They're managed by the federal government, but through FEMA, through this office. This person here has so much power. This person here can say, okay, let's shut down this city from this time to that time. Like, that's the kind of power they're willing. They can go to the president and tell the president, hey, we have to shut this down, that down. And it's done. They're not even going against these companies. If the CDC comes and says something, you will never get a president to say, oh, the CDC said that. We're not doing that. They sit on the side. We're going to do this. Oh, the FDA said that. I don't care what the FDA said. We're going to do this. They'll never go against these organizations. Because many times, for some reason, it's the people they want in these organizations. I don't know anything about this lady. I read through this. They say she was the first woman confirmed to serve as administrator. They talked about some of her work during Katrina, I believe. They talked about some of her work doing a couple of other little incidents, city management, and bam, you get denied. For whatever reason, you get denied. One thing I wonder about positions like this, is this really people that's qualified, like super qualified? Like it ain't nobody else, nobody business, only like 5 other people that's qualified in the country to do this job, and they got picked? Or is it a political job? That's what I wonder sometimes. Is it just a political job where, hey, I'm going to put you in this position, and then you're going to do this. Can that person get in that position and really administrate? Like, does that person really have the power to run that organization the way they see fit? Or like most of us think, is this person just the face, somebody that they can throw some blame on when everything goes down? Because if you look, like I said earlier, if you look at all these organizations, look like every 2-3 years they got 3-4 people that go in those positions. Oh, such and such resign. Oh, I'm appointing another person. Oh, I'm appointing another person. And you wonder, like, what happened to the last one? You look at like Surgeon General. All of a sudden, I was looking up, and I was like, "Who is that?" I'm your Surgeon General. I didn't even know. I never had seen that guy before in my life. Like, what happened to the last one? Surgeon General is another one. They just appointed. We should be voting on that position. And I wonder, how do we get to the point where, even though, like Brian said, even though we don't vote, even though we don't vote like we supposed to, how do we get to the point to get the option to vote on those, to vote on those people? And this is the thing I understand about how they're nominated by people that we voted in. But you know how it is in America. We vote in a politician that say they're going to do one thing, and when they get in the office, they do a whole nother thing. Now, that's cool if we can kick them out in 2 years or 6 years or 4 years. You think of a senator, like 6 years? That's a long, you know how much damage a person can do in 6 years? I digress. A person tells you they're going to do one thing, or they're going to be one way when they get in office. Then they get in office and they do a totally different thing. Well, that person that they put head of the FBI, or that person that they put head of what other alphabet organization out there, like I showed you with, let me see who it was. Let me see which one it was. Christopher Wray. He's been hanging around since 2003. So all you need is one of your people to put him in one position somewhere, and basically they just ride it out, and they're there forever. And they get moved around. They get moved around this place, that place, this place, that place. You'll never find where they at. Like everybody that's been a FEMA director, CDC director, FBI director, you think they just sitting at home? No. They've given them another job, another position somewhere, and nobody, not even your beloved press, will ever talk about it. Heinz Ketchup says the nation is too large to be a republic. It has to be broken up. Zoe says there are political positions because the president can nominate who he wants and then fill the positions with his people, except for the postmaster. That's another thing that's crazy about these positions. If they're political positions, we should be able to vote on them. Because like Zoe said, you get one person, it doesn't even matter what's true. It doesn't even matter what the people want or what's real, as long as if they're a Democrat, they're going to do whatever the Democrats say. If they're Republican, they're going to follow whatever the Republicans' agenda is. It's like, that's crazy. Even to our own, even to a fault, they'll follow. It's very rare you'll see like the Joe Manchin guy. Like it's very rare you'll see a politician break with that party. Now we understand that he's up in one of what they call purple states, meaning that if he vote the wrong way, he could be out. So we understand that. But why is it so rare to have a person say, okay, I know I vote one way, but this is the right way to do it? Nick Harris says breaking up America means shutting down the light of freedom. That's crazy talk. Yeah, you talking about 6? Yeah, I'm talking about 6 years. You can destroy this country. You can destroy this country. And we never thought when we was hearing like when they were saving GM and all these companies too big to fail, we never understood how easy it is to destroy this country. And I wanted to do a video about that. It's like if you just look at the last 2 years, it's like a nightmare. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. Like everything that they can do to destroy a country, and it's all over the world, like all these countries. Shut everything down, disease running rampant, prices going up. If you don't lose your job because of diseases going around, you'll get fired. The other people just getting fired. It's just crazy. Then you print money on top of money. It's like everything that they can do to kill a country that you would say, man, if you had 2 of these going on, your country would be in trouble. If you had the amount of job loss we had and the amount of disease we had, you'll kill a country. If a country prints as much money as it prints without having business open, you would say, man, that's going to kill a country. They just doing all of that at one time. And I always talk about it. It's almost like it's a methodical plan to go hit. It's like hit all these different places continuously. It's like breaking up a fighter, right? You fighting a fighter, you headshot, then you body shots, headshots, uppercut. Before you know it, you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know who to believe. And a lot of these, you look at companies like Facebook, even right here on this platform, you might not understand it, but a lot of this stuff is government people with accounts, government channels with accounts. A lot of that stuff that people follow on QAnon and all these other places, all of that stuff is, a lot of that stuff is government positions or government people, FBI, CIA, letters you've never heard of and never will hear of. They get on and put out the misinformation, and then they hire the CNNs or the Fox News, whatever persuasion you want. They'll hire those people to get on and say, look, you seen that crazy stuff they put over there on that Twitter feed? Or you see that crazy stuff they put over there? And they'll put something so outlandish and they'll have people believe in them. And some people be like, oh man, I know they was going to arrest Hillary. Finally. And now when you see that never happen, it makes that site look like if it's a right-wing site, it'll make that site look like all right-wingers are crazy, all right-wingers are fanatical, and they'll say, look at the stuff they're putting on that site, and they'll box everybody in the Republican Party to that right-wing site, and they'll say that's what those people think. That's Republican, when really that's a government-run website or site or Twitter handle or whatever. And they'll do the same thing on the Democratic side. They'll say, look how crazy those Democrats are. Look at the stuff they're putting on that Twitter feed. And because it appeals to that base, those people are going to flock over there. The radical people are going to flock over there. And then they're going to read that stuff. But then when it never happens, oh, they finally going to get Trump. Is breaking news. Trump is going to have to give up all this tax stuff and give up all this. And you follow that stuff and it never happens. And so that's their way of muddying the truth. That's a political concept of misinformation. Now, you can't do it. When you say the truth, you're giving misinformation, but they are legally, they get on these websites and put out misinformation to make everything look that's the truth. They make it look like it's a conspiracy. And they'll put some stuff so far-fetched, and they'll because you so in tuned on everything that this one website is saying is true, you'll fall for some of the stuff that's not true because you didn't do your research. And then they'll say, you see that? Man, you can't believe nothing that they put on that place. Everybody over there is wacko. Everybody over there is Looney Tunes. In fact, it's some government company that's sitting down, just like they do in Russia, just like they do in China. All we know how to do is get on YouTube, put a thumbnail up, make an account, watch some videos. We have very little training, and that's by design. We have very little training in computers as far as how to get on, make different handles, open up websites, make 3, 4, 5 fake websites, make them look credible. We have no training in America how to do this stuff. So when you see crazy hacks, information dumps, many times all that stuff is just government, whether it be our government or somebody else's government. Many times it's from these organizations that we cannot vote on who's in them. We've never voted on, I don't know if we've ever voted on anybody in the CIA. Have we ever voted on putting anybody in the FBI, anybody in the FDA, anybody in FEMA? Have we ever got one vote as far as these people are running for this office? Did the forefathers foresee the creation of all of these different organizations? That's how they got us with the Constitution, is because even though it's the best, one of the best things we have, it's so hard to see from when they actually drafted this stuff, 16, 17, 1800s. It's so hard to see what they would be doing in the year 2021. In 19, what FEMA came up, let me see when FEMA came out. What this was, Jimmy Carter? FEMA came out under Jimmy Carter. Let me tell you. April 1st, 1979. Creation of FEMA. President Carter signed Executive Order 12127, effective April 1, 1979, establishing FEMA. Shortly after, in signing Executive Order 12148 on July 20, 1979, President Carter gave the agency the dual mission of emergency management and civil defense. Jimmy Carter. Need I say anymore? They are after Assange because of the Snowden thing. Yeah. You know what tripped me out about that? What can we put? What can we call him? We got to get names for these people. We got BG, but we're gonna call him Snowflower. What tripped me out about the Snowflower incident was Snowflower happened at a time when the administration was claiming transparency. That was one of the craziest things that I ever seen when the Snowflower incident happened, because he was all talking about, are we going to be the most transparent organization ever? We're going to be the most transparent. The American people need to see. Wasn't that supposed to be some kind of government website that you can go to and see everything the government was doing? Everything that y'all remember that? They was gonna make it where you could see everything the government was doing, was spending, every move the government was making. It was supposed to be so transparent. Did that ever happen? Because right after Snowflower incident, This man had to hightail out the country for something that we should have known if it was really about transparency. Why if this man a whistleblower, why did the government run him out the country when he did what you've been telling people that we should be doing? Exposing the truth, showing the facts to the American people with whom you work for. I wish they would have let old little Snowflower come back, but they don't want him back. I don't know why, but they can't. I don't know how he's even alive over there where he's at, because governments kind of work together. I don't know how he's alive over there. I thought they would have been killed that guy. I don't know what he has. I don't know. It makes me, to stay alive that long, it makes me start to think like, whoa, like you look at, I don't think they're gonna get me for saying this. I'm gonna say it anyway. What can I say? Oh yeah, Jeff. I'm just gonna say Jeff. All right, Jeffrey. I can say Jeffrey. Look at the Jeffrey thing. As soon as they arrested him, even if he's alive or dead, they went ahead on and said, "Oh, he dead. He offed himself." Why would the Snowden? Why wouldn't they just tell us? Oh, I said his name. Why would the Snowflower? Why wouldn't they just tell us that Snowflower offed himself, or somebody assassinated Snowflower? Sorry. Why do that with Jeffrey, but not do that with Snowflower? That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. I'm asking, why not give us that? Why not even lie to us and say, oh, he offed himself one night, he hung himself? Nobody believed that. Well, at least, but some people, but I didn't believe. I'm gonna just speak for myself. I don't believe that. But they gave us something. But Snowflower, they just keep showing. They just keep showing him doing interviews. But he can't come back. If he come back, they're gonna arrest him, put him in jail for life, whatever. Yeah, we know old Jeff. But they don't even talk about Jeffrey no more. They just said, let's make that go away. Jeff, go. You can't go to Jeff Island, but we're gonna make you another island. Just go over there and do your thing over there. We gotta act like you gone, man. We gotta act like you don't exist. And that's what they did, of course. So let me digress back to what we was talking about. We get off a topic. I just wish we had the opportunity. Oh man, don't get me started on Hunter. He's running. He might be running the second arm of our government that we don't know about. The second deep state, because he out there like he doing boss stuff. He making deals with all kind of different countries, and I don't even know. I don't know what's going on. I start to think that maybe we fell asleep at the wheel. And I don't believe I've been in an accident where I fell asleep. But I would liken it to a person that's fell asleep at the wheel. And then you wake up in the midst of the turnover. I think that's where America is now. I think half of the people in the car is still sleeping, but the car is flipping. And a couple of us are waking up like, oh, it's like we're just tumbling. We don't know what's going on. We done woke up. We don't know what hit us, but we know we're not in a good space. I think that's America right now. Is we've woken up, we were heading somewhere, and we fell asleep, and now we're waking up in the middle of about a 15 turnover single car accident. I think that's where the government is. I think we've lost control of the vehicle. And what happens when you lose control of the vehicle? It's going to do its own thing. I don't think there's one particular person, one particular voter, one particular representative or senator that can actually stop what we are seeing. I think we've gotten to the point where it's too big. Like they say, the machine. You take technology. You take the stuff that Snowflower was talking about, being able to turn on, watching you getting dressed in your house, and we know that these phones. I can show you something right now. This is an iPhone. I don't even use iPhone. I bought this phone just for the camera. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to go to my videos. I got to go to my gallery. I want to show you something. This is my phone. This is my phone. Don't have it hooked up to anything. The only thing it's hooked up to is YouTube. It doesn't have a phone number on it. I've never activated it. Basically, I just use it for Wi-Fi and the camera. My kids get the phone. I don't have a password on it. My kids get the phone and they actually play with it, like take pictures, do videos. Cool. One day I opened it and I saw this. And I'm like, that's strange. I don't remember taking no pictures of my children like that. So I told Bells, I said, Bells, I said, how do they have selfies on this thing basically showing, you see it has 6 people, basically showing who uses the phone, who uses the camera phone. I never put that on there. I never asked it. I never saved it, like saving a contact. So then Belle said, you want to see something else crazy? She said, press the thing that says people, and it's going to show you their names. I'm like, what? Like, I know I never put that in there. My kids never put it in there. Let me show you this. Press the people and look at that. That's the craziest thing. I told Bells, I said, at least they think you 2 different people. That's probably because of the makeup. But they got my children's names on the phone. And I said, how did that thing do that? And so I sit here and I was thinking about it. And I'm like, I can understand them getting the faces just from taking selfies, but how did they get the names? And then it came to me. When you're taking somebody's picture, especially when it's children. So when I'm taking, you see my picture, it doesn't have a name. Belle's pictures, they don't really have names on them. They probably gonna have some names on now since I just said that. But when you're taking little children's pictures, many times you say their names. So many times if you're taking a picture of your child, you're gonna be like, look here, Zach, especially like a little kid. Zach, look, Zachariah. And you take the picture. That computer has already heard that and analyzed that information. And they've said, that's that child's name. We fell asleep at the wheel, and we love to see the microwaves coming in the 80s and in the 90s and the 2000s, the flat screens and the computers. All this stuff was coming in so fast. And the government did this purposely because they had a lot of this technology in the 60s and 70s, but they said we can't give that to the people too fast. We have to give it to them slowly because it'll drive us crazy. Having too much technology too fast, people will go crazy. Somebody say, yeah, we fell asleep at the wheel. I'm telling you, we woke up in this car and it's too late to correct. Like it's too late to swerve. Oh shit, I almost hit that car. It's already too late for that. I think we're already then went off the road and the car's flipping. Because we love the convenience of having this. I'm telling you, when iPhones came out, I'm not an iPhone person anymore. I only got this because of the camera, and I got a good deal on the phone. After, what's my man name? I always say this. What's the man that started the iPhone? Somebody tell me. Oh, shucks. Steve Jobs. After Steve Jobs died, I was done with Apple. I saw he had a different vision. When after he died, it went a whole different way. Somebody says never over till it's over. Thank you for keeping us. Thank you for keeping the faith out here in Realville. You probably helped us in Realville that's losing hope. Someone put that comment up. They're going so crazy with this stuff. There once was a time when if you didn't want something, you can press deny. Right? Like if you didn't want something on here and they'll say, okay, you have to accept this. Even if you press cancel or not accept, no, don't agree, you could still use the feature. You just didn't agree to them doing whatever they wanted to do. It's crazy now on a lot of stuff. If you press you don't accept the terms and conditions, you can't even use anything on the phone. So basically, you have to give over your whole life, your whole identity, your children's identities before they even have an identity. The phone has robbed them of it. Just this little phone. And how many of us were so glad that we had a telephone, a computer, you had just like a mailbox. You ain't have to write mail to anybody anymore. Like back in the day, you had to write letters. You could just text or email. All of this stuff got so much in the palm of our hands until we fell asleep. We didn't put any checks on any of this stuff. Oh, yeah. I already know, Brian. We've gotten so much to a point now to if the Wi-Fi goes down, we don't know where we are. And the more Ad Love says they're forcing 5G on us, I'm starting to see it now. I used to think that, but now the people are begging for it. And I'm saying to myself, how fast do you want to be? Don't these phones go fast enough for us all right now? Why don't we just stop where it's at right now? Why do we always gotta go more, faster, better? Even to our own detriment, we want more. And now it's like it's just taken off. And it's like, where are we? We in a car that's flipping over, and we was driving 70, 80 miles an hour. And we got tired because of all the BS, all the 9/11, all the conspiracy stuff, which a term that the government then came up with, from the JFK to Martin Luther King to 2000, to 2001, just everything that's been going on. It's been so much stuff back to back until we just got tired driving. And I'm gonna say this is gonna be is a little unnerving, but we do have our children in the car with us. Everybody's buckled up, but they're still in this car that's flipping over with us. I wish that we could have gotten them to 2030 at a better position than they're going to get there now. So you have people like me, this channel, you have other channels that even at the threat of being kicked off, demonetized, whatever they want to do, at the threat of that, you still have some people that are going to all platforms. I don't go to all the other platforms. I tried to do a little bit on some other platforms, but one thing I noticed is I saw something that press secretary had said, and I was like, you know what? There's no need to go from platform to platform to platform because they're all the same. And one thing that press secretary has said, Jenny from the block, she said, if a person is kicked off of one site, they should be kicked off of all of them. So pretty soon, the algorithms and the AI, the artificial intelligence, is going to find you on Rumble, going to find you on Twitch or whatever you're using, Bytemart, Bitmart, whatever you on. They're going to kick you off of that one, and then it's going to be like a domino effect. You see how I just showed you this thing? I'm not crazy. I don't know why that. Look at that thing was blinking. Y'all saw that? What the hell was that? I'm gonna have to go back. Go back to when y'all go back to watch the replay and come to the one that says 50 minutes and see that thing was just look, there it goes. What is that? What the hell was that? I'm not touching nothing. Look at that. What is that? What is that little red light? Is it seeing my face? Look at that. Wow. I'm not naive. Yeah, it's taking pictures of everything. It's taking a picture of your face every time, must be, even though I'm not asking it to. You see that? That's crazy. I'm not naive anymore. Now I just don't care because I know what's going on. Even though we at Realville, trust and believe, if they shut down Realville, they're probably going to go and shut down any video that my face is in. That means all my other channels, anything else I got, they're going to shut it. They're going to shut it down immediately. Even though those other channels don't have nothing to do with this channel because of facial recognition. If I've done interviews on other channels, they're going to go and shut those down as well. When they talk about wiping you out, artificial intelligence, it don't matter if you're on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, whatever you own. I don't know what Donald Trump got Truth Social he talking about coming out with. It don't matter what you on. When they come to take you, they taking everything. So now it becomes the fact of, are you going to shut up or are you going to keep talking? Are you going to shut up or are you going to keep sharing the videos? Are you going to shut up or are you going to keep sharing posts and little pieces of information you come across? That's kind of where it's at now. Yeah, they watching everything. They're watching them all. My front camera is always taped. Can't see my face. Plus, I have a de-Googled phone. That was scary right there. Let me try that again. Look at that. As soon as you pick it up, it's pressing that. And I'm not even pressing anything. You see my buttons is up here, right? So I'm not pressing anything to make the screen come on. Just as soon as you turn it around and it sees a new face, I'm guessing it just comes. If it sees my face, it comes on. But I don't have anything set on this thing. There it goes. It looks at my face, I guess. But I don't have any facial stuff set up on it. I don't know, y'all. Look, thank y'all for coming in tonight. I don't want to hold you too long. Somebody asking the same thing. You got to tell us about that de-Google process. If you got a link, when we do our next live stream, share that link. Or matter of fact, if you find a link to how to de-Google a phone, put it in our comments after this video post. And that way we can all try to figure out how to de-Google our lives a little bit. He says, check out Braxman. I guess that's on YouTube. Nick, I wish that mattered. Call your senator, call your governor, call these people. Like I said, I think the car is already gonna start flipping. I think it's already like up in the air. Unless we can get and rein in, unless we can rein in the FBI, CIA, FEMA, CDC, FDA, unless we can rein in those people, it is what it is. Like I said at the beginning, I found out something about life is that you can talk about something every day, every day. So why not come to Realville and talk about it? I want to thank y'all for watching Realville. Thank y'all for being a part. Brian, Adlove, Jasmine, Nick, everybody that came in today. I tried to put up some of y'all comments. Lama Lama, Heinz Ketchup. First time seeing you, I think. I don't remember. Miss Castleberry, everybody that came in. I want to thank y'all. Miss Susan. We actually did a video off Miss Susan, I believe. Jasmine, everybody that came in today, I want to thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. I'm trying to run through some names that I'm seeing. Urban White Buffalo Farm, 44, Alley, OL Austin. Thank all y'all for coming in. Thank y'all. We'll catch up in the upcoming year. I'll be putting up a lot of short videos, a shorter nature, 1-2 minute videos. I want to ask y'all to please, if you see a 1 minute video or a 2 minute video, please take the time, even if you don't want to watch it, take the time to let those videos play through, or give the video a like, so that somebody else can see the video that it might affect. One thing I've learned about having a channel like Realville is that YouTube doesn't do anything extra for us. YouTube will not share any videos too much unless it's to our subscribers. And maybe from what I'm looking at from the impressions, maybe an extra 500 to 1,000 people will see the thumbnail. Everything else comes from you guys, from pressing the like button and from actually sharing the video. That's where most of my views are coming from. People the link is being shared from other platforms, what I'm watching in my analytics. So thank you. So even though YouTube don't want to get down with us, that's still cool. I often wonder, I look at a lot of I don't know, they might think I'm a right winger, but I'm not. I'm not a Republican, but they might think I am. So it made me wonder, like, how does Fox News you share Fox News everywhere? And something told me controlled opposition. Controlled opposition is good for them. So it's all these big companies that are just as big as them. And you wonder, like, how all these people that get millions of views get shared, but the little small people don't get shared. Is because they don't want the smaller channels to get bigger. But the big channels are only going to go so far with the truth. They're only going to step so far. They actually know when to be quiet. Smaller channels, Mr. Ouchie. They call him Dr. Jab. Dr. Jab working. We're gonna work on the name. I got Snowflower. We're gonna work on the name. We're gonna work on the name for the doctor. Y'all be good, man. I don't want to stay too long. Y'all be good. God bless y'all. And of course, we're gonna catch you. If you claim to be a Republican, they show you. Wings of the same bird can't be independent, or show you think for yourself, mister. Angela said, I knew you'd be here. Yeah. Hey, I'm just like, I'm like, I consider myself a realist. And that's one thing that I've learned about politics and life in general is never get on one side. I learned that by having friends. Yeah, Dr. Fraud. I like that. I learned that by having friends. I got in a position before when I was very young, when I had one friend that got into it with some other people, and being a friend, I'm like, if you don't like them, then I ain't hanging with them. And then I kid you not, as the wheels of time rolled, all of a sudden they were back talking to those people. But now, because I wasn't talking to them, the people don't want to talk to me, and I'm the one on the outside. I never had a problem with them. The only reason I wasn't talking to him was because of you. So I learned now that I don't pick sides. I don't. Nobody thinks for me. I'm not picking friends because of who you friends with. If that's what you want to do, you don't like somebody. That don't mean I'm not gonna like them. That's the kind of way I am. So that's the way I'm in politics. I don't really have a particular party. Just because I'm Democrat, the Democrats can do all this crazy stuff, and I'm supposed to say, well, I got to roll with the Democrats. That's crazy. Or Republicans can do all kind of crazy stuff, like when they didn't repeal and replace. Man, that was crazy. Like, I'm not rolling with that. Y'all lied. Y'all lied and said y'all was gonna repeal and replace when y'all got in. People put you in, and you didn't do what you say you was gonna do. So, like, I throw my hands up to this, and I just try to vote and try to believe in particular people that I find interesting. So, yeah, birds of a feather flock together. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for coming out. I didn't want to go over that 1 hour mark, but I messed up again and went over that 1 hour mark. I wanted to kind of stay inside of it. But like I said, be looking out for some of our future videos, preferably of a shorter nature. That way I'll be able to get more shorter videos in and hopefully put out the same content, just figure out a way to condense it all into 1 or 2 minutes. So thank y'all for watching, and hey, let's keep talking. Don't forget, see something, say something, send me an email, send me a comment like Miss Susan did that actually helped me do a video. If you see something you think I need to see, put it in the comment section under one of these videos. That way I can go look at it, and hopefully I can do a video and give you some credit for it. Thank y'all for watching. Catch you on the next one.